Hello. Today we are going to be discussing accreditation, and more specifically AACSB Accreditation, which stands for the Association to Advance Collegiate Schools of Business. First, let's look at accreditation. Accreditation is the recognition that an institution maintains standards requisite for its graduates to gain admission to other reputable institutions of higher learning or to achieve credentials for professional practice. The goal of accreditation is to ensure that education provided by institutions meets a certain quality standard. Accreditation is voluntary, and it also sets the standard for quality across the board. All of this comes from the education website. It talks about all of the entities that are accredited and the different recognized accrediting organizations. Types of accreditation: there's a national accreditation, a regional accreditation, and a professional accreditation. National accreditation tends to be for non-traditional programs or non-traditional schools. It looks at online schools, technical and vocational schools, and or religious institutions. Regional, which is the highest level of institutional accreditation, it's both for private and public institutions and for 2 and 4 year. Regional is the most common accreditation as well. And there's also professional accreditation. It's specialized or programmatic. Individual programs or schools within an institution can get accreditation from certain institutions. You'll see this in most licensing fields such as legal fields, education, things of that nature. Today, as we talk about this, one of the overarching entities is the Council for Higher Education Accreditation, also known as CHIA. As you'll see here, I gave you a couple of pieces of information that they have on their website. It talks about how accreditation serves students and the public interest. You can read this for yourself, but it talks about how accreditation really sets a standard, and it makes you feel like the program that you're going into or the school that you're going into does meet a certain set of criteria that is important. As we'll look at the AACSB accreditation, there are certain aspects of it that have to be there in order for that accreditation to be granted. I know here at ETSU, we do not hire adjunct faculty or faculty that do not have degrees from accredited AACSB accredited institutions. So you can read this for yourself, but just some high points is that it is the primary public symbol of legitimate higher education. It is the primary reliable authority for federal and state government funding. If your program is not accredited, specifically through CHIA and or the Department of Education, you cannot use federal financial aid there. It's the primary authority for private sector financial support as well. So you can read through these on your own and see what that accreditation really does mean for those entities. Now specifically, AACSB Accreditation, it was founded in 1916 and they set their first standard in 1919. They added accountancy to, they had a business and now they have an accountancy as well. So it's two separate accreditations. They did major revisions in 1991 and in 2013, and the most recent, which we're going to talk about today, was in January of 2016. According to their standards, programs must uphold their mission and core values, must work to advance global management education, and must participate in the community of leading business schools. The purpose of this accreditation, according to AACSB, is to encourage business schools to hold themselves accountable for improving business practice through scholarly education and impactful intellectual contributions. It does require evidence of quality improvement in the areas of engagement, innovation, and impact. It does have continuous improvement requirements each year. Schools have to complete a business school questionnaire and do every 5 years have the review of their strategic progress. The main focus of today's presentation is to talk about the technology related standards, and I apologize for the typo on this page. But this talks about the program must agree to certain standards in relation to technology. The first one being that must agree to use the branding and the accreditation statements of the organization in all electronic and printed communication. This includes websites, electronic and print advertisements. Anything that the program is advertising on has to have the AACSB branding on it. They must describe trends and sources available related to information technology infrastructure. For each degree program, they must describe the teaching and learning model as traditional, online, or distance, and models that blend the two. So the technology-supported approaches are heavily encouraged and set as a standard. They must have applied or integrated scholarship that synthesizes new understandings or interpretations of knowledge or technology, or both, develop new technologies, processes, tools, or uses, and or refines, develops, or advances new methods based on existing knowledge. So obviously, if you're teaching students business, and a large portion of business, whether it be email or telecommunications or whatever may be their specialty, technology is super important. So you want to know that the students that you're educating and that you're granting degrees to are going to be able to go out into the workforce and actually utilize that equipment, utilize that technology, and that they're well versed in it so that they make an impact. AACSB Accreditation also wants to see that the school has financial resources available to provide the technology support for students and faculty. So not only is the school offering the pieces of technology, computers, smart boards, iPads if they're needed, lab space, whatever it may be, but they also have the ongoing financial resources to provide support so that the students and the faculty know how to utilize it. These programs must use professional staff or other services to provide that support. Educational programs are structured to ensure consistent, high-quality education for the same degree programs, regardless of differences and changes in technology and delivery modes. This is important. This is saying that regardless if our school at ETSU, our School of Business, offers organizational management online or in the classroom, they have to have the same consistent quality for both programs. So students on campus, if they are utilizing a specific piece of technology, that piece of technology has to be available to those online or distance ed students as well. Bachelor degree and higher requires that information technology, that their students are able to use technologies in business and management contexts, that their students have information technology and statistics and quantitative methods and how it impacts business practices. So they have to know data creation, data sharing, data analytics, data mining, data reporting, storage between and across organizations, and the ethical issues that is involved in technology. It also talks about alternative instructional methodology, whether it be face-to-face, distance, or other forms of technologically advanced instruction. When I hear this, I think of classes that are offered via the web, or classes that are distance ed for people that are archived instruction models that students can access at any time, much like the program that we're in now. Some of the metrics that are used for accreditation in relation to technology. AACSB looks to see the download counts for any electronic journals that the students and faculty and staff within the College of Business are in. That's an academic impact on the program. They also look to see instructional software that's created. So are there students or faculty within the School of Business or the business program or accountancy program that are developing software or developing apps or offering some sort of impact? And then also media citations. So are your faculty and staff actually in the media for what they're doing technologically within their school? And the references I used for this presentation was the education website, ed.gov, and then also the AACSB website as well. I hope you have a great day, and I appreciate your time.